Welcome everyone to In Our Truck Night America live here from Richmond Raceway for the Carmax 400 and the second race of the chase here, folks. Last weekend we saw a very eventful race at Darlington Raceway. Pit strategy was split up early on in that one. Peter Onjak was ultimately able to get the win after starting from pole, but throughout that race, Peter Onjak did not have the lead. But it was actually Brandon Haynes and the 91 of Rocco Dorn battling for most of the race. But Peter Onjak, on a final restart, he was able to run down Brandon Haynes and Rocco Dorn, and he was able to steal the win with 10 laps left in that one. And him and Haynes battled through lap traffic in that one. Haynes, unfortunately, for the second time this season, will just fall just up short to his first Gainbridge Truck Series win. We saw it at Nashville. We saw it last weekend at Darlington. And coming into this weekend here at Richmond Raceway, this is going to be a very interesting race. Qualifying for one was very interesting. This is the most scattered we've ever seen qualifying. A lot of big names towards the back, and everybody just spread out. Last weekend we saw most of the chase start in the top 15, but this weekend everybody is spread through, so this could be a key race for some guys who are sitting near the back of the chase standings to gain some key points on the current championship leader like Peter Onjak. So, folks, as we get into our track overview here today, you can see 70-degree weather, a little bit of a cooler evening than we've seen the last couple weeks at Darlington and Watkins Glen before that, and Indianapolis. But 3-mile-per-hour winds going east, 0.75-mile D-shaped oval. So, short track here. It's going to be a very interesting short track. The first traditional short track we've had in quite a minute. We've been to New Smyrna, IRP. The last one we really been to that's a traditional NASCAR short track was Martinsville. That will be having its second date right before the championship race. So we'll be going back to Martinsville here soon, but there hasn't been a real traditional NASCAR short track race since Martinsville. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. 100 laps around here. It's going to be a pretty long one, depending on how fast it goes. Monica Capado gets her third pole on the season. Can she make it the third time the charm? We saw her get the pole at Memphis International Raceway, and I think it was Lucas Oil IRP as well. Fortunately, at Memphis, she ran into some issues. No, New Smyrna. It was New Smyrna. Fortunately, at New Smyrna, she ran into some issues after leading the beginning of that race, and unfortunately, it's just not gone the way this number 29 teams wanted. But here tonight, I think they have a very good chance at winning it. I think there's not much bad luck you can run into. Hopefully, that doesn't come back to bite me. But I do think this 29 team is the favorites coming into this weekend, once again being fast again. But folks, with no further ado, let's head down trackside and go over our chase standings and the pre-race show. And here we are trackside here, folks, at Richmond Raceway for the pre-race show. To begin, before we even get into the chase standings, we have 4 new entries coming into this weekend. The 20 of Emily York Watson, the 30 of Lexi Herman right here, and then we also have the 39 of Caden Arcadia and the 97 of Stephen Colin. So 2 drivers that are very experienced. Caden Arcadia coming from the Pinty series, and he has a lot of experience also from Japanese kart racing. So he's got a lot of experience coming to this Ryan Sieg Racing team, who are making their debut here for the Gainbridge Truck Series, while the number 97 for CR7 Motorsports ran by Cordy Rohrbar. This is their second entry with William Ayers. So it's going to be very interesting to see how their debuts go. York Watson, she's going to be the third entry for Young's Roper Motorsports. Not starting too well here, but she does add a little bit of a unique blend to their team that right now is mostly road course ringers. So it'll be interesting to see how these 4 make their debut here today, especially this number 30 of Lexi Herman. You can already see very close to their teammates, the number 81 and the 57. The 31 of Matt Morley's all the way back here, but this 81 and 57, Ross D'Angelo and Trevor Vaden, both very, very fast at these short tracks, and Teams Turner Motorsports is focused on these short tracks. We'll see if these 3 trucks are able to put together something good, and we'll see if Lexi Herman's able to mimic her teammate in the 81 who made their debut at IRP and got a top 10. We'll see if they're able to do it here today, just starting outside the top 10. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this 30 of Lexi Herman can do, and the rest of the drivers all making their debut. So that makes it 42 entries. Unfortunately, Angel Gutierrez in the number 2 for Rev Racing will not make this race. When we did have qualifying, he was a 42nd car, so he will not make it, as Richmond can only fit 41 pit boxes. So the number 2 will receive a DNQ. It's unfortunate for that number 2 team, but they ran into bad luck all season, and once again they run into it here tonight, as they are not even going to be entering this race. But likely for Gutierrez, next season is just around the corner. Well, the off season is just around the corner, and then hopefully next season they can have better luck. But unfortunately, here tonight they will not be racing at Richmond Raceway. But now, folks, let's get into our chase standings coming into this one. You can see Peter Onjak, a pretty sizable lead over The 71 Atlanta linebacker and the 7 of Matthew Hubert, who are nearly tied, the two teammates there. Hubert had a great recovery drive after a slow start last week, and he's starting fourth here today, highest among all the chase drivers coming into this one. And then we have William Ayers, who is also a very big threat here at Richmond Raceway, one of the best short track racers, arguably the best short track racer in the series. The best average finish I believe he has, which is I think 1.5. So William Ayers, a heavy favorite coming to this one. He's stuck on that outside line, which is not too strong, so it's going to be something key to watch out for. Hopefully that outside line is not too much of a burden for that number 19, but he is someone that's very much to watch here coming to this race. You see Brandon Haynes in the 45 all the way up to 5th already. Had a great performance at Darlington last weekend. Not starting too well here tonight at Richmond, but not a lot of other chase drivers are either, so I do think this race will shake up the chase grid quite a bit. Some guys are going to lose points, some guys will gain. Then we have Stapleton, Dixon, Dorn all sitting there, all tied up there. Dixon, one at IRP, starting decent here today, just outside the top 10. We'll see if he's able to cook something together, but Nathan Stapleton also starting in ninth here today, so we'll see if Stapleton's able to capitalize on this opportunity. Then we have Vittoria starting alongside the 5 with David Dixon. Then we have Gale, Morley, and Little, who all just had bad luck. Actually, 9th through 12th had bad luck. None of them finished the race. I don't know. I think 31 may have finished the race, but they all got involved in incidents. 92 of Vittoria had a very scary wreck with the 19 Ryan Little, both hitting the inside wall. So hopefully those two are okay coming to this weekend, both in the chase. So that was an unfortunate blow to the chase drivers. We saw a lot of chase drivers run into issues. The O2 of Gale was on a fast run at Darlington. Then his engine gave up, but he was one of the fastest cars on track, fastest trucks on track before that. So it was an unfortunate circumstance for that O2 team, but coming into tonight, Richmond looks like it's going to be a race that's going to shake everything up, the Carmax 400. And when it comes to drivers, look out for today. I already mentioned the 29 of Monica Pato, but I'm also looking at that number 7 of Matthew Hubert, starting fourth here today. I could see him look to take advantage of this shake up in the qualifying grid, but honestly, my other two guys to look out for besides the 29 and 7 are just the 57 and 9 in general. Ayers and D'Angelo so good at these type of tracks. Fortunately, we saw Ayers take out I think it was Bjorn for Jorgensen. 3 great short track races at New Smyrna, but we saw Ayers run really wide, and he ran too wide, wasn't able to control it, had a car on his outside lane. The number 57 Roxy D'Angelo went to the inside, caused a huge wreck. That led to Roxy D'Angelo winning at New Smyrna. Fortunately, Roxy D'Angelo just missed out on the playoffs, but that does not mean she's not going to fight for some race wins. I think here tonight she is a big contender along with this number 9 of William Ayers. So, but besides drivers, look out for this one. The next race will be the Abacan Hardware, I think 250 or 400 at New Hampshire next weekend, and after that we head to Canada. So we're taking kind of a northeast swing here after this race we're already pretty much in the east for Richmond, but then we hit a northeast swing. It's going to be the Abacan Hardware 200. Then we have the Lordco Auto Parts 250 at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So those will be the next 2 races after this one. Should be some good ones, but we have a short track here today. New Hampshire is also, I guess you could consider a short track-ish. It's honestly your own type of opinion, but New Hampshire is just a very interesting track in general, very unique how it is built, so it'll be a test for the drivers. But besides that, folks, let's get these trucks fired off and ready to go here for the Carmax 400 at Richmond. 100 laps around here. Who will get the win? I guess we'll find out here soon, but let's get these trucks fired off and ready to go.
Drivers, start your engines.
And you see the trucks are fired off and ready to go here at Richmond Raceway. You can see the starting lineup on the left side of your screen, sponsored by Discount Tire. But with no further ado, it's going to be Monica Pato leading us to green on our outside. It's going to be the number 1 of Skylar Taylor, to kick off the second chase race of the season here at Richmond Raceway. Going through the Geico restart zone. The green flag is out here for the Carmax 400. You already see Skylar Taylor stuck on that outside line now. Eric Monaco is going to be moving to second, and behind him, there goes Patrick Fenderop now. He's on side by side from number 1 as Roxy D'Angelo moves on the inside of the number 7 Matthew Hubert. So now Fenderop had a great performance last weekend at Darlington. Now he's looking to make a name for himself. Hubert's going to cover off that 17 and Nathan Stapleton now. This is allowing Monica Pato to drive away, but this 52 Eric Monaco won at Memphis International Raceway, so he is no slouch here at these short tracks. So he's definitely going to try to keep up with his number 29 of Pato. And look at D'Angelo now, still trying to pass this 13, but once she gets clear, which is right here, she's going to be someone to watch out for as Hallie Anderson Jr. dives around the outside of Lexi Herman, who's stuck in the middle. And now David Dixon looking to the inside of both the 30 and the 56 as there goes Trevor Vaden to the inside of his teammate of the 30. So now Anderson Jr. and the 30 of Herman stuck on that outside line, and it is 3 wide, 2 rows deep here. Stapleton and Dixon both running really high. There goes Stapleton into the outside wall. So it's perfect start to run. He makes contact with Manny Candamo Jr. Had a great qualifying session, but he was running way out of the groove that whole time, and then it was eventually going to happen as he lost tons of grip, and he got stuck on that outside wall. And now look at Skylar Taylor now trying to get back there. Oh, look at Fenderop coming down the pit road early. It seems like he has some issues. And now Chris Martin's battling with this number 92 of Vittoria and the 81 of Trevor Vaden. Back up front, Monica Pato still leads. She has that number 52 of Eric Monaco trailing behind her, but that 57 of Rox D'Angelo might have something to say here soon. But let's see what happens to that 13 Fenderop. Looks like he's having a coolant leak on that truck. Hopefully they can get that solved. But there goes Rox D'Angelo now looking to the inside for a second here at Richmond underneath the 52 of Monaco. Both have one race win on the year, but neither made the chase. You have to be very consistent in the series to make the chase in. Unfortunately for the both of them, the 57 got very close, ran into some bad luck at the last race of the regular season at Indianapolis, while the 52 Eric Monaco was in and out of it all season. But there goes the 57 into second place here at Richmond now, as the number 7 Matthew Hubert and the number 1 of Skylar Taylor follow behind. Taylor sporting a new scheme that ran, I think it was, I don't even know. Oh yeah, Starkey and Sound Gear all season, but now they're running Project Hope Foundation for this season. And now Monica Pato, her first lap traffic of the day will be the 13 of Patrick Fenderop, who had a leak on that truck, but they seem to figure it out now. But now look, this 92 and 98 of Chris Martin still duking it out, but you can see some chase drivers already trying to slowly make their way into this top 10 after a very bad qualifying session from most of the chase drivers who just were not able to get it figured out. But William Ayers moving to the inside of that number 92, and here comes the regular season champion Peter Onjak, possibly looking for a move here soon as well. We mentioned how good William Ayers is at these types of tracks, and if he's able to get around this 98 of Chris Martin, he could possibly challenge for the lead eventually, but he's got a lot of trucks in between him and that number 29 machine, who Monica Pato, 10 laps in already, is going to go by fast here at a short track. She still has the lead. She's just got to manage the race and hope nothing goes wrong for her. We've seen a lot of bad luck this season for that number 29 team, but there goes Bjornsson now, possibly looking to the inside of Onjak here in the number 38, the regular season champion, like I just mentioned. Very solid at every track besides really road courses, but even in the strategy race at Watkins Glen, he was able to salvage a P2. But look at Herman now looking to the inside of the 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. Anderson Jr. in 2 weeks will visit her home track of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Of course, Richmond will be next weekend, and then we take another turn north to Canadian Tire. So we'll see what the 56 is able to do here. But now she's being challenged by this number 30 of Herman, who she's trying to look to make the pass on her. These two still stuck side by side here. Pardon me, folks. Let's see if I can actually commentate a short track race without having any issues there. The 38 of Peter Onjak very close to the back of this number 11 of Bjorn for Jorgensen, as now the number 9 of Ayers is looking to the inside. That 98 of Chris Martin's up ahead, but that was very close between this 11 and 38. And Bjorn for Jorgensen been involved in so many incidents this season, just very unlucky, but manages to keep it going. And right now, the gap between the field isn't growing too much. You see some little mini battles now as the 9 of Ayers is going to try to clear this number 98, as the 92 of Vittoria might look to capitalize on it as well. But right now, keeping up with the pace so far is this number 29. Number 57 of Roxy Angel still staying behind this 29 of Monica Pato, not losing too much time. But that number 1 of Skylar Taylor is closing on the back of this number 7 of Matthew Huber here. We'll see if anything happens between these two, but Taylor's taking a very conservative line in the middle, and it's kind of working out for him. He's been able to drive his way back through after a rough start on that outside line. We likely won't see a spectacular race like we saw at New Smyrna earlier this season, but these truck drivers are going to definitely duke it out. I mean, second race of the chase, you got to take care of the opportunity you have at stake, especially it's number 7 of Matthew Hubert, with how all the chase drivers are looking right now, and they're all catching up now. The 5 of Dixon, the 9 of Ayers, the 92 of Vittoria, the 38 of Onjak, they're all driving their way throughout this field, so they're definitely looking to catch back up to the 7 of Huber, not allowing him to gain too much points. But look at the 2 of Adrian Gale, the Australian. He's running really well here at Richmond, sitting just in 15th right now. So Gale possibly looking to surprise some people here and get a solid finish. Points are everything, so even if you don't win, you need to get the good points you need to get consistent points to stay in this fight. As there goes the 38 of Onjak looking to the inside. This number 92 of Sanjay Vittoria now. Vittoria, this is his home race, but now he is going to fall a couple positions behind. As there goes the 11 of Jorgensen now looking to the inside. Onjak won his home race. No, he did not win his home race. It was the 7 Matthew Huber who won at Indianapolis, but we've seen a lot of guys do really well at their home races so far this season, so we'll see if Vittoria is able to put something together in front of these home fans. But right now, this number 11 of Jorgensen still trying to get a move off on him, and there goes the 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. now, possibly looking to capitalize on this opportunity to get to the inside of this number 92. And he's going to shut the door there, but we'll see when the first pit stop start here today. Is Onjak right on the back of this number 98 of Chris Martin's now looking to get the move off, as Ayers already got that done, but we'll see when pit strategy kicks off here today at Richmond. You just got to hope if you're this 29 team, you make the right call. We've seen them constantly make bad decisions so far this season, and it's hurt them a lot, but hopefully they can keep it going. But right now, this number 29 Monica Pato is still maintaining the lead. We said, could the third time be the charm? She's had 2 or 3 poles at short track so far this season. Can she finally get it done? Her teammate Sanjay Vittoria has 2 wins on the season at Gateway and Rockingham, so this 29 team really wants to get in the win books for RFK Racing, especially with the races winding down. If those trucks were to win, that'd be a nice icing on the cake to a pretty solid season this RFK Racing team in general has had. They have had some questionable strategy calls all around the board, but hopefully that does not come into play here at Richmond. This is 52 Eric Monaco starting to lose a little bit of time to the 57 and 29, but 7 Matthew Hubert still maintaining his position, so is the number 1 and 81. And as you can see, a lot of short track drivers, a lot of guys who are very solid at short tracks, did not make the playoffs with how many of them are running in the top 10 right now. So that might say something. You can be good at short tracks, but if you're not good at any other track, you're not going to be doing too well. But there goes the number 11 of Jorgensen now, looking to the inside of Chris Martin, the French driver who is still doing really well, sporting that Menard scheme this weekend. Sponsored by Liberty University as well, but right now, this weekend, he's running this Menard scheme, a little bit of an alternate between Exalta. And he's going to really get close to that number 11 and 92 of Vittoria there, just slot right in, but that looked like it could have been very close here. But we are already close to lap 30 here, folks, at Richmond Raceway. You can see a little bit of a gap forming between the 17 Nathan Stapleton and the 91 of Rod Goodorn. But speaking of the 19 and 71, they are not doing too well right now. Ryan Little running all the way in 21st right now, so he's got to make his way through. So does this 31 of Matt Morley, and there goes the 19 of Ryan Little now diving to the inside of Watkins Glen race winner Joseph Wood. So can Ryan Little possibly get the move off of that Napa Auto Parts machine? You see Brandon Haynes not running too well. back there either. Now looking to the inside, but for a second it looked like Stephen Collin, the Puerto Rican, making his debut. And her debut, well, she's not running two laps, but the last of the drivers who did not have to pit unexpectedly is Emily York Watson. So some of these drivers still trying to get fit into their debut. The 20, the 97, the 39 of Caden Arcady, who I thought would do a little bit better here today. Not running too well right now, but it is their first race, so you can't sweat it too much. But especially this 45, Brendan Haynes, he needs to fight his way through this field all night so he does not get caught a lap down and just get a good finish for the chase in general. That 11 for Johnson was able to get around that 98 of Chris Martins, and now it looks like Onjak could close in on this number 9 and 5 of David Dixon here, as now Dixon and the 9 of William Ayers going to fight side by side here for a second. It looks like Onjak going to close right on the back of both, and he looks like he's going to slot in right behind William Ayers and let him do the work for him and follow through if this number 9 of Ayers is able to get the pass off that Grant County mulch machine. It's pretty even so far in this race between everyone. Haven't seen a caution just quite yet. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but we've seen plenty of cautions the past couple races. But look at Peter Onjak possibly here looking to get a 2-for-1 on Ayers and David Dixon now, as he's going to look to the inside of William Ayers. We'll see if Ayers is able to hold him off, but right now it doesn't quite look like it, as there goes the regular season champion Onjak now getting into the fray. And now back up front, though, you can see the 81 of Trevor Vaden going to the inside of this number 1 of Skylar Taylor. Completely lost my train of thought. I don't know why I seem to have an issue commentating short track races. It seems whenever a short track is on the schedule, I'm not able to get my words out. But this number 29 of Monica Pato closing in from lap traffic of the 13 of Patrick Finderop. And there goes the 81 still looking to make a pass. And it looks like Onjak might finally clear this number 9 of William Ayers here on the front stretch. But Ayers still has his nose in there. So these two are going to be battling side by side for a long period of time. That 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. behind them looking for the pass on number 92 of Vittoria. So as expected, this race already shaking it up quite a bit, as there goes Dixon to the inside of number 9 of Ayers, but now Vaden gets that pass off on the number 1 of Skylar Taylor. But as expected, this one is already very shaken up now, as we knew it from the qualifying session. This one was going to be one of those auto races, but now this 29 of Monica Pato now looking to get past this lap traffic of Patrick Finderop, using that outside line. I don't know how smart that is, but that 57 of Rox D'Angelo lurking right in the background. Rox D'Angelo looking for a second race win on the season. She won at New Smyrna, where this number 29 won the pole. It stunk for that 29, especially being from Daytona Beach, Florida. New Smyrna only about a 30-minute drive out, so these two now going to both use the outside line. We'll see if this 57 catches this 29 possibly napping here, but right now it doesn't quite look like it's going to be the case here, as we're already closing up on the halfway point of this race, and we have yet to see pit stops, so it looks like tire wear not falling off too quickly here at Richmond. But there goes the 57 of Rox D'Angelo now diving to the inside for the lead, and it looks like she is going to get it, as she used the 13 of Patrick Finderop as a pick, and she is going to get the pass off. So now it's going to be Monica Pato on the chase, going to look on that outside line, but not going to be able to get anything done now. And now this one looks like it could play out to be pretty interesting now, because we'll see if Monica Pato now on the offensive side of it is able to get past this number 57. And now 57 going to branch out a little bit, run a little bit wide here. That might be the opportunity Monica Pato needs, but Pato going to, and there's a wreck on track actually. And that's going to bring out the first caution here today. And I'm not quite sure what brought out that first one, but the first caution out here today on lap 38, and it looks like it involved that number 27 of Zach Thompson, and we'll see what transpired, but it could have been him and this 15 of Reggie Fogelman, because these two both look like they were in some type of danger, and that 77 of Alexander Rowe doesn't even look like he got fired off in this race. So once again, a second week in a row, we don't even see a truck get fired off. We saw it last weekend from 98 of Chris Martins, but as you can see, these guys all pitting now. I mean, I don't know what they're quite doing. I don't think he should be pitting yet. But here comes the leader of Rox D'Angelo onto pit road now. So we'll look at this race off pit road, and then we'll see what happened to bring out this first caution of the day. But it is going to be Rox D'Angelo leading us down after getting that pass off on the number 29 of Monica Pato after using this 13 as a pick. And yeah, those guys coming in really early there, that's not going to help them at all, especially the 45 Brandon Haynes. They're all going to go a lap down unless they get out of pit road before this 57. Let me fix this camera real quick so we can actually see the race off the pit road. But yeah, if they don't all get off the pit road here, they could all be in danger. 42 is going to be able to, the 39 of Caden Arcadia, the 45. They're all going to be able to get out in front, it looks like. But the first caution out here today at Richmond Raceway. We'll see them all figure this out here, but yeah, Watson's going to be stuck a lap down. But folks, let's go check out what happened to bring out the first caution here today at Richmond as the number 57 of Roxy D'Angelo leads. And we're here with our replay, folks, for what brought out the first caution here today. It's going to be in a little bit, but you see this 15 run that number 27, Zach Thompson, all the way into the wall. Thompson just gets completely pinched by this 15 of Reggie Fogelman, and that just brings out the first caution here today. You see the leaders coming very, very close to this. You see Eric Monaco slams on the brakes in front of the 7 of Matthew Hubert, but Zach Thompson just gets squeezed out by the 15. I don't know what the 15 spotter is doing there, but there is a car high, and that brings out the first caution here today. And see here, that 15 just runs all the way wide. I don't know what the 15 Reggie Fogelman's doing there, and that is going to hurt both of them here today. They don't get as much damage as you think they would, but that just takes them both out. As number 27, I know Zach Thompson's not going to be too happy with that. Is he just completely gets squeezed out there, so no respect by the 15 of Reggie Fogelman, and that brings out the first caution here today. And Giuseppe Martini, very near a miss at 07. His teammate of Alexander Road didn't even get fired off in this one, but that's what brings out the first caution here today at Richmond Raceway, where it is the number 57 of Rox D'Angelo who leads. So actually, 1 second here, folks. Let's get these trucks that pitted for some reason earlier before waved around, and then we'll get back to you. All right, so we're back here at Richmond, folks. We had to get these trucks out the way for this restart, but it will be the 57 of Rox D'Angelo leading us back to green here at Richmond Raceway, and it's been a very, don't want to say an uneventful race, but so far, nearly halfway into this one, it's mostly been just mini battles throughout the field. Of oddball of a race already, we knew that was going to be the case, but we are going to be restarting here on lap 44, it looks like. So it will be the number 57 Rox D'Angelo leading us back to green. On the outside will be the 29 of Monica Pato, but she is going to have her teammate, the number 81 of Trevor Vaden, on the inside. So we'll see how this restart plays out here at Richmond for the Carmax 400, but a very uneventful race in some parts, but some parts there has been some good battles, but it is kind of short track racing here on NR. We got very lucky at New Smyrna with the great racing there was. So this one kind of figured it wasn't going to be as eventful, but here we go. It will be Rox D'Angelo leading us through the Geico restart zone to go back green here at Richmond Raceway. And the green flag is back out here at Richmond Raceway, and what a launch that number 29 of Monica Pato got there, as she's going to lead into turn 1. Filing behind will be that 57 of D'Angelo if she doesn't run too wide there, because that 81 Trevor Vaden now possibly looking to challenge his teammate of Rox D'Angelo, who's going to run really wide there, as she's going to be challenged. There goes the number 1 of Skylar Taylor, sticking his nose in there, nearly 3 wide there for a second now, but it is all gaggled out now, as there goes the number 1 Skylar Taylor around the outside, but there goes this 57 of Rox D'Angelo now trying to clear now. Avoids contact with the wall, but double file racing, and now she's finally going to clear right in front of her teammate, as there goes Matthew Hubert on the inside with that number 5 of David Dixon as well. That 38, 9, 92, all stuck on the outside. Here comes Landon Lauterbach also involved in the side, so everybody now involved in this one. 3 wide between the 17, 25, and 71 there. Carl Young, don't know what he was doing there, but he ran them both very close to the wall, so he is getting his elbows out here at Richmond, as Onjack's ripping it around the outside. As there goes Chris Martins looking to challenge the 52 of Eric Monaco there for a second, it looked like. as the 04 Tyreek McLean is on pit road. But Monica Pato gets a great launch on the inside line, and she has the lead currently as these two Turner Motorsports Fords battle it out for second as the number 7 of Matthew Hubert and the 5 of David Dixon lurk behind as a lot of chase drivers are starting to drive their way through. The 38, the 91 of Rocco Dorn had a great stop, the 92 of Vittoria, the 9 of William Ayers, the 19 of Ryan Little had a good stop as well as 17, so some guys starting to get some life here in this one. Wow, this 45 Brendan Haynes still struggling hard here at Richmond, and he is running dang near last so far with his teammate of Dylan Matiscus, and Nice Motorsports not having quite the start they wanted. But right now, Monica Pato still maintaining the lead, and right now she could very well be on her way to leading the most laps by, I think it would be like around lap 60, because she has been on a tear so far here at Richmond, and she is now trying to drive away from these two Turner Motorsports Fords who are both lurking behind. This 38, 5, and 7 as well, both now finally got their way up. Hubert started 4th in this one, so he's sitting 4th right now, so he hasn't really moved the needle too much, but this 5 and 38 of Peter Onjak and David Dixon have both really drove their way throughout the field. As now here comes Skylar Taylor battling side by side with his teammate in the Tricon Garage Truck, the number 11 of Bjorn Fjorensen now. So these two battling it out. Toyota only has about 3 wins on the season. The 52 Eric Monaco, the 5 of David Dixon at IRP, and the number 21 of Joseph Wood at Watkins Glen. So they have not been too strong of a manufacturer this season. I mean, they don't have a lot of trucks in general, but haven't been too strong. As here goes the 38 of Peter Onjak now looking to the inside of this 5 of David Dixon. Can he get the pass off? Dixon running a new alternate colors here for the playoffs. You're going to see Thompson Oil Systems on that truck quite a lot. I think it's Thompson Oil Systems. I forgot the name fully. Oh, Pipe Group. I don't know why I say Oil Systems. Thompson Pipe Group on the board of that truck as they're still in battle side by side. But here we go now. Eric Monaco looking to challenge these two. And this has allowed this 92 and 91 of Rocco Dorn and Sanjo Vittoria to both get into the fray here and possibly look to make a move here soon, as it is going to be 3 wide between all 3 of these Toyotas now. So here they go 3 wide into this corner, and you have to hope they keep it clean here as the number 11 for Jordan, he's going to give enough room to his partners, his manufacturer partners here. Doesn't want to squeeze anybody out here, but Skylar Taylor still battling on that outside line. Him and Eric Monaco very close racing between the two, and Skylar Taylor very close to the wall there. He keeps it going now. But now Taylor's going to run really wide. We've seen that happen a lot here, these Tricon Garage trucks, and he's going to cut right in front of that 98 of Chris Martins, but now he's going to be stuck behind us. Now he's going to try to hope to look around the outside of that 91 of Rocco Dorn here, but now the 98 of Chris Martins looks to challenge him, and Sandra Vittoria looks to the outside of this 91 of Rocco Dorn. So they're getting awfully racy in the mid-pack here as Roxy D'Angelo and Monica Pato still drive away a little bit. That 81 Trevor trying to keep up with these two, but right now Pato looks like the best driver here today, but now look at the 91 of Dorn battling side by side with this 92 of Sanjo Vittoria. Hasn't been too much battling between the leaders, but here in the mid-pack, these guys have been duking it out. So we saw a spin between the 27 and, I already forgot, the 27 and I think it was 15 of Reggie Fogelman, bringing out the first caution here today. Now, once again, we have some green flag racing, and we'll see who really has the long-run truck here once again. As now that 92 of Sanjo Vittoria being challenged from this 98 of Chris Martins. Once again, Martins has been challenging this 92 an awful lot here at Richmond here today. As all these trucks here, you can see the common theme. A lot of guys who did not make the playoffs are very good at short tracks. So these short tracks are going to put these guys in for a doozy here, especially as they're going to be giving a big fight to all of them. As this time William Ayers still stuck behind here. One of my picks to look out for, and just quite hasn't been too good. But we need to talk about Rocco Dorn and how consistent he's been so far. Shows up at the right time, and here once again in the chase, he is looking very consistent now, as he's going to have the 92 and 98 behind them. But going looking at points right now, the 91 of Rocco Dorn, he sits currently 8th, but he jumped from 11th to 8th, and if he has a good point stay here today, which he is currently running 9th, he could once again jump up. So Dorn, a sneaky candidate here in the chase, and I mentioned that I thought someone was going to have a good run here in the chase, and Onjak nearly drives through the number 7 of Matthew Hubert there as these two battle side by side. Speaking of chase drivers, I said I think there will be a driver that has a deep run into this chase, and I think it was going to be the 7 of Matthew Hubert, but the 91 of Rocco Dorn could be someone to potentially look at, but the 7 of Hubert avoids disaster there from the 38 of Onjak, who really got his elbows out. We've seen it time and time here this season between the 38. He will put the elbows out and move you out the way. We saw him wreck the numbers 17 and Nathan Stapleton at Lucas Oil IRP. Well, you could argue it was a racing incident, but those two, Indiana natives, but both from Chicago, we saw them both get involved, but now back up front, this 29 and 57 still maintaining the race lead in this one. The 29 Monica Paddles led almost nearly every lap here today at Richmond Raceway, just maintaining the lead. The 57 Rox D'Angelo, though, looks like she could possibly get into a fight here soon with this number 29, though, as she is still, holding a pretty good gap between her and this lead truck. Doesn't lose too much time off that time now, but this is going to be a very interesting race to look back at the end of the season, because there's so many not unknown names, but underdogs right now fighting inside this top 10 that it really has shook up this race. Monica Pato, a non-chase driver, looks like to be the first non-chase driver to win in the chase. So I thought it was going to be someone else to do that, but it looks like she can pull off here today. This number 92 of Vittoria now looking to the inside of this 98 of Chris Martins. Look at this 31 of Matt Morley, driven his way all the way up to 15th here, and he started terribly, and he was not looking too well for a while, but he is now starting to come into his own. So Matt Morley, he's come alive in the second half of the race. There goes 38 Alexi Herman looking to the inside of this number 17 of Nathan Stapleton. Now she has drifted back quite a bit from where she started in this race now, as she is just sitting in 20th behind Stapleton. Stapleton going to close in there. Herman saying, I'm still in there, but this number 97 is Cologne now battling alongside this number 71. So some battles going on between this race and some guys driving their way forward. Brandon Haynes not quite been able to do it. Caden Arcadian, their debut, not been able to do anything so far in this one. So a very interesting race so far, as this number 38 of Peter Honjak still closing down time to this number 81 of Trevor Vaden. And could we see Peter Honjak possibly drive his way through once again here in these type of races? It's going to be something to watch out for as the laps to wind down, as we are just outside 30 laps to go in this one. This race has gone by very, very quickly here. Lots of green flag runs, kind of different from what we've seen the past couple weeks, but that's what you see at these type of short tracks. These guys, we have a lot of talented short track racers, so they're not going to make too many dumb mistakes. We saw it, New Smyrna, we had the best short track race of the year. Richmond, not quite been as good, but these drivers are still duking it out throughout the fields. Still keeping it going, but I think this is going to be a very close finish here. I think this 38 Peter Honjak is someone to look out for. Kind of has the nickname the closer. He somehow finds his way to win at some of these races. We saw him do it at Pocono. We saw him do it at Darlington now. We saw him win at Nashville as well, but now he is here. I think he did it at Nashville. I don't even know. I have to lose track of these races sometimes here, folks, but this 38 at the end of the race, he really kicks it into another level and really locks in. But yeah, he won at Nashville. He dominated that whole race, but at Pocono, he had to close his way in on that one. New Smyrna, he was really knocking on the door in the final laps with Roxy D'Angelo. And at Watkins Glen, he almost won for a third time already. Unfortunately, he had to come down to fairway on the final lap. If it was, I guess, real-life NASCAR, he would just push it past the line, and that 38 would have his third win on the season. But you could very well give this 38 the nickname the closer, because Peter Honjak at Indianapolis 2 also was running down the number 7 of Matthew Hubert. So he really is, I guess, the Kevin Harvick of this series when it comes to coming in at the end of the race and really having the best long-run truck now, as he's looking to the inside of 81 of Trevor Vaden, as those two up front possibly look like they could battle here soon, as the 57 of D'Angelo has really closed down the gap. But the 7 of Hubert and the 5 of Dixon both have followed this 38 through, as they possibly could be knocking on the door here soon. as now the 91 and 9 are rounding out your top 10. So these two still battling side by side. So the 38 Peter Onjak now is going to have some clean air to chase down this 29 and 57. Roxy Angelo, Monica Pato, who have been battling it out so far for the lead. And past this point in this race, this 29 Monica Pato we already know has the most laps. Let's see, has that extra point. But can she capitalize on all of it with the race win? This is going to be a very close finish here. Does Roxy D'Angelo have anything in the tank? As we are just coming to 25 laps to go here at Richmond. And reminder, Wednesday will be New Hampshire, so that'll be a very interesting race. The Abacan Hardware 200 at New Hampshire, so that'll be an interesting race to watch out for. We'll see if it'll be a little bit more entertaining than this one, but I think New Hampshire typically in real life is kind of a chalk, I don't want to say chalk race, but like it just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's a good race with some battles. And speaking of some battles going on now, there goes the 81 of Vaden down to the inside of the 38 of Onjak, and so there goes the number 7 of Matthew Hubert as well. So these two battling side by side now. So now maybe Onjak doesn't have the pace to close in on the leaders in this one. I'm not quite too sure here, but with the way it's looking now, this possibly could give an opportunity to have Roxy D'Angelo have the 29 Monica Pato all to herself in this one. But I don't know if she can quite stop this 29 Monica Pato. She has dominated so far here today, looking to get her first win on the season, has ran into numerous bad lucks. You know what they say, the third time's a charm, and as we're coming to 20 to go in about 2 laps, it is possibly the case here at Richmond. Now these two battling here behind their Arcadia in his debut. Sorry about that. And besides that, some guys have driven their way through the field. The 31, the 19, the 17 has, ever since he made contact with the wall, it just hasn't been too good. The 30 of Lexi Herman in her debut just drifted back and just hasn't been too good here. But 92 of Vittori stuck it in there, but he's now behind us, number 1, and 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr., who he's got to get back by both of these two to even sniff out of the top 10, which he has to pass William Ayers at that point. So these 3 or 4 all battling here for third place, and that's allowed the 57 and 29 to gain a lot of time as Onjak stuck on that outside line, still running very close to that number 11 of Bjornsson, but this number 7 of Matthew Hewitt's going to look to possibly, hopefully here soon, maybe look for a pass on this 81 of Vaden. Vaden's been very good so far in this one. We mentioned how Turner Motorsports focuses on the short tracks here. Do these guys have one stop left in them is a question, but right now it looks like and contact there between the 38 and 5. So the 5 now, Dave Dixon getting his elbows out here at Richmond Raceways. He's now going to give the 38 the notion to move out the way. We'll see if we have one pit stop left in this one, but they hit near the halfway, close to the halfway point in this one. Wasn't quite there, but it was very close to the halfway point. I think it was around lap 38, lap 40, so just about 10 laps off the halfway point. So we'll see if they're able to stretch it to the end, because it looks like they have a lot of laps they can put on these tires. And right now, with the way this 29 is managing the race, it looks like Monica Pato is likely going to see her first victory on the season. I don't want to apologize about not the really eventful racing, because fortunately every track isn't going to be too eventful, and this is one of them where it's just a classic short track race where it's just going to be a lot of many battles throughout the field. So don't trying so hard not to apologize, because there's nothing I can do to make it more eventful. But it has been a solid race. We have seen some battles, maybe not between these two. The 57 really only was able to use lap traffic to really capitalize on this 29 Pato, who's been world class here today. But 38 Peter Onjak, he was able to drive his way through at one point, but now he is finding himself all the way back there in 7th now, as the 5 of Dixon now. Does he possibly look to pass his teammate for Bjornsson here soon? It looks like he is going to move to the inside now. So there goes Dixon now, looking to get 5th away from his teammate and gain some points, as he needs some valuable points. Everybody in the chase needs valuable points to catch up to Peter Onjak, who has been just amazing so far this season. These guys are only running about 120 in the front stretch, so not going too fast here at Richmond. I thought they'd be a little bit faster, but they really aren't going too fast here. I was wondering why it looks so slow, but as now here goes on Jack looking to the inside of Slevin for Jorgensen, who is now the fall victim to his teammate and the number 38 on Jack. Eric Monaco sitting in 8th, so started higher in this race, has drifted back quite a bit, but now there goes for Jorgensen, sticking his nose underneath the 38 of on Jack once again. 11 to go now at the line here as we are closing down on the final laps here at Richmond in the Carmax 400. Been a very quick race, been green flag for most of it, and right now it looks like Monica Pato could very well be cruising her way to her first victory on the season. She's led the most laps here today at Richmond and has been just 8th here, and now she just has to hold on for Roxy D'Angelo for 10 more laps. Can she do it is the question. And if she does, if she is able to do it, does she continue this momentum next weekend into New Hampshire? New Hampshire, I don't even know how to describe it. It feels like a short track, but it's a speedway. It's just like a short speedway, I guess you can call it, because I think if this 29 does win here tonight, which looks very well likely right now, but she's going to run really wide there, which is going to allow 57 Rox D'Angelo to gain some time here possibly, but I do think if luck falls this 29's way with the preferred track type next weekend as well, this midweek race up and coming, could we see back-to-back possibly for the 29 of Monica Pato? Don't know, but here on lap 92, she looks very strong here. She's had too much bad luck this season at these type of tracks, but it looks like it's all falling into fruition here at Richmond Raceway. And failed to mention that those races she did win the pole at was Bristol and North Wilkesboro, which both had issues, so we had to switch over tracks. So 29 didn't have too much luck when it came to that, but she has had a whole weekend here at Richmond, so there isn't too much she can complain about if she does lose this one. But Rox D'Angelo closing right back up on the backside of this 29, and we'll see if D'Angelo makes any last moves here with just over 5 laps to go in this one. 7 to go now, just past the line. See Brandon Haynes, the first set of lap traffic up ahead. He has just been very slow here today, trying to get a pass on a fellow North Carolina native of the 88 of Clinton Buchanan. And we'll see if lap traffic possibly plays a part in this finish. But as we're now at 6 to go in this one, Monica Pato, all she has to do is hold on for about, I think it would just be exactly around 5 more miles. She's dominated so far today. I think she's led about probably 80 laps, and she has been really, really locked in. But we'll see if this 57 of Rox D'Angelo has anything left in the tank for this 29 of Monica Pato with 5 to go here at Richmond. Four to go now. 4 more miles for the 29 of Monica Pato. She has really earned this one here tonight at Richmond. I've mentioned it multiple times already, but the bad luck they've seen so far this season, this would be a bittersweet win. Oh, but they do have to make a pit stop on the final couple laps, so there is one pit stop to be left made in this one, and we'll see how the pit cycle plays into this finish sphere, folks. So I was wondering why there was a huge gap here, but there is pit stops left in this one with just under 5 laps to go, so more chaos added to in our Truck Night America now as we're seeing a pit cycle happen. 5 of David Dixon's going to stay out. He's going to come to 2 to go at the line now. And can David Dixon possibly steal the win here? And what a shakeup this would be. Some could not make it to the end, and it looks like they might not do it here, but here we go. Coming to the white flag, the number 5 of David Dixon now. 1 more to go for the number 5 of David Dixon. It looks like his truck will be able to make it to the end possibly here. We've seen it here before. They pit right before the start-finish line Hopefully he doesn't do it here today, but one more turn to go for this number 5 of Dixon. And he will do it, coming through, turns 3 and 4. David Dixon's going to win the Carmax 400 at Richmond. So once again, just a very odd and weird finish. And Monica Pato is going to get a race win stolen from her. She was not able to make it to the end. The 5 of Dixon was, though, so I don't know. Maybe the 29 should have stretched it. But now she's going to finish all the way back in, I don't even know. Monica Pato is going to finish in 7th, but man, oh man, you have to wonder if this number 29 could have made it to the end. But congratulations to David Dixon, able to outlast everyone once again. We saw that RP made a bold pit strategy call, but we see pit stops right before the end of this one. I know a few aren't going to be happy about that, but that is the chaos that comes here in our Truck 9 America, and they just weren't able to make it to the end. Especially for a 100-lap race, you would expect them to be able to make it to the end, but they don't quite do it. So David Dixon gets his second win on the season, and which was from what was a very solid race, not very eventful one we've seen so far this season, but now that one's going to be controversial, especially for a lot of people now, as they were not able to make it to the end, and you have to wonder what is in the mind of that number 29 team, as I think they possibly could have made it to the end, especially with how they were able to maintain that gap for the lead most throughout this race. And let's just get into the results right here. But David Dixon's going to win. He outlasts everyone. Victoria's going to finish in 3rd. 4th, Ryan Little. 5th, Lexi Herman. And Monica Pato is going to finish all the way in 7th now. So that shakes this one up quite a bit. Adrian Gale's going to finish all the way back in, I don't even know, 25th now. He was on his pace for a pretty good finish. 18th is for Rago Doran, 16th for Peter Onjak. I saw a gap forming there. I was like, are they pitting seriously here? And they do. So once again, strategy just all out of whack here at Richmond Raceway. But your top 10, once again, the number David Dixon gets his second win on the season, followed by William Ayers, the 92 of Sandra Vittoria, the 19 of Ryan Little, the 30 of Lexi Herman, the 6th, the 75 of Sierra Cooper, 7th, the 29 of Monica Pato, 8th is going to be the 57 of Rossi D'Angelo, 9th is the 41 of Carson Miller, and rounding out your top 10 will be the 52 of Eric Monaco. So, and what was a very interesting type of race to begin with, 100 laps, you think the strategy would be quite set, but once again, it is thrown out for all a whack once again, as drivers were just not able to make it, and you wonder if that number 29 of Monica Pato could have made it. But once again, we see a bit of a fuel mileage race once again, and I haven't even made any tweaks to anything for pit strategy. So once again, this past couple of races has really just been crazy here for Inner Truck 9 America. So I don't even know what to say here. Congratulations to David Dixon, second race win on the season here in our Truck 9 America. So that 5 team's going to be able to burn it down, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that result. That's going to help him immensely here in this chase race. But heading into this week here at New Hampshire in a couple of days here, it's going to be a Sunday race. So heading into New Hampshire on Wednesday, this one is shaken up by quite a lot. So we'll see just what happens at New Hampshire, because this one certainly threw the chaser a twist. Was not expecting those pit stops at the end. We thought everybody could make it, but once again, they're not able to. And this strategy has just been key the past couple weeks. Don't know what quite the case it has been, but hopefully these teams figure it out as we have a short turnover. So hopefully New Hampshire, we don't see any more of this madness. Once again, I have not made any adjustments to pit strategy or anything, so it's just been all-out madness here for NR Truck 9 America the past couple weeks. But besides that, thank you all for watching and tuning in here to NR Truck 9 America. This is Charlie Davenport signing off. See you all Wednesday night for New Hampshire in the third race of the chase for the Abacan Hardware 200, as we once again will see if chaos follows as it has the last 3 races.